Hi everyone, I'm Brian Chambers, Development Director here at Foundry 42 Frankfurt. Little info on the team here. We're currently 67 people strong, made up of people across 14 different nationalities. Main language in the office is English, so we can easily communicate with the other studios. But at any point in the office, you can hear discussions in German, Italian, etc. Let's jump into the team and see what the team's been working on over the past few weeks. TechArt team here is made up of 2 people. This month, they worked on a tool for both cinematic and gameplay animators to quickly render out previews of their work within Maya. The tool allows the animators to quickly offload the rendering to a different PC so they can continue work on their own PC. The renders are an essential part of our review process here so that the global teams can have an eye on everyone's progress across all the studios. They worked on numerous other small tasks as well, such as skinning of cloth, automated file testing within Maya, and supporting the weapons team, to name a few. Cinematics team is focusing on telling the rich story of Squadron 42, as we all know. The team's making great progress putting scenes of various sizes together. They continuously work across multiple disciplines to get the final look and feel that they're after, such as the character team for our A-list cast of characters, UI and art teams on specific visuals, and the VFX team on unique atmosphere and effects. We're holding back and showing scenes for now, so we don't give any of the story away, but we honestly look forward to the time that we can show them all off to you. The weapons art team here in Frankfurt, who you've heard from before, is broken up into 2 areas of focus. One on FPS weapons, and the other one working solely on ship weapons. The FPS team has been focusing on giving the final polish pass for the Bering and Klaus and Werner weapons, as well as a new double-barrel ballistic shotgun from the Kostak Arms. The ship weapon guys have been focusing their time on finalizing the pipeline for the new modular and upgradable system, which, when completed, will allow us to more flexibility and efficiency when we're moving forward and creating the variety that we're after. The past month on the DE VFX team has continued work on the procedural systems for placing particles on the surface of the planet, as we showed in our last update, I believe. The system's in place now, and it'll make the setup of particles much easier for the future planets. They've also been working with the system designers on a brand new oxygen breathing system and the visuals attached to it. The visuals are tied to the player losing a portion of their oxygen over time for various reasons. The system is still incredibly early in its development and may change, but it's so far showing good progress. System designers here have been working with programming to get the player and the AI both interacting with the same usable and to intelligently be able to use other objects inside that usable. For example, sitting down at a table, picking up a cup, drinking from it, using a knife and fork, picking a grenade or gun from a locker, etc. They also worked on getting all the Squadron 42 character subsumption behaviors standardized across the board. They started with the main cast character to get them working in perfect order for a full 24-hour life cycle, all the conversations it can form with NPCs, etc. And once that's finished, the same standard will get applied to all characters to ensure everything is consistently made and everyone has a fixed template to follow when creating NPC behaviors. The level design team is continuing its push on the modular locations. For the surface outposts, we're looking into the first 3 variants: hydroponics, mining, and storage. And just as with our other locations, both the exterior and the interior props are modular and can be combined into many different variants. This is the only image they gave me to use for now. We'll have a more in-depth look into their recent work in the near future, and they didn't want me to spoil it. And all the modular systems we're developing enable us to quickly build a large number of locations while still maintaining our high visual target that we're after. For the engine team, it's been a busy few weeks for them as they continue on a daily basis to push on the planetary tech. Some of the recent work on planetary tech was planetary clouds. For one, the texture LOD computations for cloud details were revised in order to reduce aliasing and shimmering artifacts in the distance. We also included support for simple cloud animation, which we'll see further improvements on in the future. For alien planets, there's now also an option to tint clouds. Work also started on our solar system editor, which is the first version and it's almost complete. It allows us to set up solar systems in their initial state, drag in planets as object containers, configure their orbits around the sun, set up moons orbiting around planets, etc. It's an essential tool that we found out due to the size that we're working with and the amount of objects that we have. The tech team also did numerous other improvements, such as replacing the video player backend, which now allows for much higher quality video at a much reduced file size. They worked on mesh compression and enabled client-side feature testing to allow continuous testing against a large variety of game and engine features, systems, and mechanics, and automatically track if and when which submits cause anything to fail. This month, the environment art team grew by another 2 artists. Collectively, they've made a lot of progress on the procedural moons around Crusader. Each moon has its own distinct look and feel. A lot of effort has gone into making each one unique, at the same time visually keeping them tied to the same family, per se. The work on the different ecosystems for these moons is now complete, and the team is currently working on refining the geological elements that will be found on each separate moon. We're excited for players to eventually visit the 3 moons, Yela, Daymar, and Selene, by flying seamlessly from space to the procedural planet's surface. The development of a procedural tech is ongoing, and with a growing team of artists using it on a daily basis and working directly with the programmers to improve the tools, we're creating a strong and extremely strong foundation for our future content. The AI team this month successfully completed 2 separate sprints related to implementing the subsumption mission system's functionalities to enable us to implement the research and rescue missions in Crusader. One of the low-level features has been the implementation of the superGUID. A superGUID is a way to connect a variable in subsumption to an object in the world that has a specific structure to it. For example, in Crusader, we have one made object container that defines the Stanton system. This container has a clear structure and contains several asteroid fields, Port Olisar, etc. In the mission logic, we can have multiple superGUID variables that allow us to access different specific elements within any given structure. This month, the AI guys also introduced a new tool, the Subsumption Visualizer. This tool allows us to debug live mission and behavioral logic, allowing us to modify in real time the variable of the brain of the NPCs or the mission flow. This tool is fully integrated into the engine, and it will be the central place for the debug functionalities of Subsumption as a whole. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for listening. This wraps up the update from Frankfurt. Appreciate all the support, and we'll see you again soon.